You come to in a cold, dark room, and somewhere off in the distance, a light flickers on, temporarily blinding you. After blinking a few times, your eyes adjust, and you see Deku sitting in a corner with a knife in his hand. He has a sadistic grin plastered on his face, and he says, "Oh, you're awake, doll. We can play now." You're bound by your hands and feet, and he gets down really close and kneels in front of you. You wiggle away from him, but he says, "Don't be shy, doll." And he picks you up and hangs you on a hook by your hands. Tied up and completely at his mercy, he circles you like a lion, sizing up his prey. His gloved hands touch you all over, giving you goosebumps. As your reactions are perfect, we're gonna have so much fun, doll. After staring at you for quite some time, Deku takes his knife and drags it along your breastbone lightly, nicking your shirt and ripping it. He says, "Oh, sorry, doll. Looks like we're gonna have to get rid of the whole thing." You wince as he makes a small, not too deep cut on your neck. Blood drips down over your chest and he smiles. "Look at my little pretty painted doll." He leans in, licking blood off of your chest. Says, "My favorite flavors, doll." "I wonder what the rest of you tastes like," he says, making you turn as red as the blood on your chest. He laughs and then pushes up against you and says, "I wonder how much of this body will blush for me. Let's find out." Deku suddenly runs away and comes back a few seconds later with a feather in his hand. He laughs and says, "I'm gonna find out what winds you up, little doll." You know that he is wasting his time because you are not ticklish, except for a spot behind your ear. He starts with your feet and works his way up, dragging the feather, going across your hips to your chest, and all the while you're just hanging there with a serious expression on your face. He growls, getting clearly frustrated that this isn't working. He sweeps the feather along your jaw and across your lips and says, "If this doesn't work, I know something that will." You taunt him, saying, "You're wasting everyone's time." He drops the feather and takes something out of his back pocket and says, "Oh, am I?" His grin widens and you hear a faint vibration sound. Your eyes nearly pop out of your head when you see the vibrating object he's pulled out from behind his back. "You gave yourself away, doll." He walks around behind you again, making you even more nervous. And then nothing happens. You start to get a little paranoid and then jump when he pushes the vibrating object against your backside. "This is so fun, doll. Your reactions are priceless. We're only just getting started." He comes back around to your front and stands in front of you. "Oh, doll, you're not nearly excited enough." He tosses the object back and forth in his hands and says, "Ooh, I know what we can do with this." He pushes it between your thighs and just holds it there for a long time. When you feel like you're just about, he rips it away. Does this over and over again till you're on the very edge and you are a whimpering mess. You clench your thighs together, hoping for any kind of friction, but he stops you. He stands directly in front of you and wraps your legs around his waist and says, not until I say so. Understand?" He leans in and licks at ticklish spot behind your ear, making you whimper. He laughs and grinds against you, giving you just enough friction to drive you insane. "So needy, little doll." He grinds against you some more and then stops when you're just about there. "Do you want it, little doll? Then you're going to have to beg, like the puppy that you are." You start begging and pleading. "Please, please, I want it, please. I'll do anything." He laughs and says, "How can I do this to my little doll? How can I resist you?" After leaving you on the edge for so long, the slightest touch of his fingers sends you spiraling. You're whimpering and your legs are shaking as he pulls you off the hook. "Let's go again. This time we'll start with me." He unties your hands and says, "Be a good girl, doll, and you'll get a surprise at the end. Now, get on your knees and show me how much you love." Undo his belt buckle and get to work. He strokes your hair and says, "Good girl. Now you make me feel good. I'll make you feel good all over again. Maybe you'll forget how to walk." He lets out a low growl and lifts you to your feet. He grabs your chin and kisses you, slipping his tongue inside. "Oh, doll, you deserve a reward for that." He sits down in a chair and pulls you over his knee. "I thought this was a reward," you say, confused. He laughs. "Oh, it is." He runs his hands along your back till they reach your backside. He softly caresses it until you realize this feels kind of nice, and then he smacks you really hard. You yelp at first, and then he immediately goes back to massaging. He does it again, only this time you're ready, and it's also a little lower. This time, when his hand connects, it sends a little vibration right down there. Whisper, "Oh my god." It feels really good, and he does it again. Leans close to your ear. "Do you want more, doll?" "Beg, little puppy, beg." "I know you can. Let me hear it. I want to hear that sweet sound." You whimper and beg as he denies you once again. At this point, you're trembling. You're just aching for him to touch you. He giggles and traces his fingers down your spine, then smacks you again, making you cry out. Tears start streaming down your face. "Please, please." He gently strokes your hair. "Don't cry, doll. It's all right. I'll give you what you want." He sits you up and gives you a gentle kiss on the lips, and then kisses away the tears that were running down your cheeks. He then stands and shoves everything off of the table that's behind you. He then sits you on it. What shall we do, doll? As he stands between your thighs, he gently massages them and says, "Give Daddy a kiss." As you do, his hand slips between your thighs. You let out a loud gasp and he goes, "Oops, my mistake." He continues touching you, and as he does, you put your hand on his shoulders and dig your nails in. "Feisty doll, I like it." He then leans you back on the table so you're laying down. "I think she's ready now." You hear his belt clatter as his pants hit the floor. He braces his hands on either side of your head and says, "I want to try something, doll. Is that okay?" You shake your head yes, ready for anything that he's going to do. He pushes your legs apart and says, "One for all, 1%. Y'all, I think part 10 might be the last part to this particular series. I don't know. We'll see. One for all, 1%. Once his body connects with yours, you are over the freaking moon. Your body is shaking, your toes are curling, and your eyes pretty much roll into the back of your head. You can hardly breathe. Well, that went way better than I hoped it would. I thought I was gonna crush you. My fragile little doll. He kisses you, bringing you back down to earth. You alright, doll? Let's try 2%. See if I can rearrange your insides. This time, your back arches and your eyes go completely white. You scream louder than you've ever screamed before. The table shakes and you almost fall over, but he holds on to you, finishing himself. That was fun, wasn't it?